Good morning, children. We are discussing about Indian green frog. Indian green frog. We're discussing about Indian green frog. Okay, what is the scientific name of green frog? Rana hexadactyla. Hexadactyla. This is the most important. Okay, Rana hexadactyla. So now some more characters. Yesterday we discussed some more characters. Now we are going to discuss another character. A pair of a pair of a pair of tympanic membrane a pair of tympanic membranes forms a forms the ear forms the ear drum forms the eardrum behind the eyes on either side. Eyes on either side. Next, Mr. Frogs have no external ears. Have no external ears. Okay, frog have no external ears. Neck and tail are absent. Tail are absent. Next, trunk bears a pair of forelimbs. Trunk bears a pair of forelimbs and a pair of hind limbs. Pair of hind limbs. This is important. At the posterior end of the dorsal side between the hind limbs, between the what you called hind limbs. We are discussing about between the hind limbs. Okay, between the hind limbs, what will be there is the cloacal aperture. Cloacal aperture is there. This is the common aperture. Okay, this is important. Next, this is the common opening for this is the common opening for the digestive excretory and reproductive systems. This is important. Next, forelimbs are short. Stumpy and helps. Forelimbs are short, stumpy, and helps to bear the weight of the body. weight of the body. The weight of the body, they are also helpful for they are also helpful for they are also helpful for the landing of the landing of the helpful for the landing of the frog after leaping. Very important, children. Next, each forelimb consists of each forelimb consists of thick thigh, shank, and foot. Thigh, shank, and foot. These are the important things. Foot bears 5 long webbed. Okay, very important. 5 long webbed. Okay, most important thing is toes. Toes are present. Okay, and one small spot called one small spot is called what you call this is the sixth toe. This is important. These are adaptations. Okay, these are adaptations for leaping and swimming. This is important. When the animal is at rest, the hind limbs are very important. The hind limbs are okay. When the animals are rest, the hind limbs are kept folded. Okay, kept folded in the form of letter Z. Okay, this is the important, children. Next, observe carefully. We are discussing about the Indian green frog called Rana tigrina. Rana hexadactyla. Rana tigrina also there. Rana hexadactyla. This is Indian green frog. A pair of tympanic membrane is a very important. Tympanic membranes forms the eardrum. Okay, eardrum. What do you call eardrum? So behind the eyes on either side, the eardrums are present. Frogs have no external ears. Neck and tail are absent. So external ear absent. Neck and tail are also absent in the frog. Trunk only is there. Trunk bear a pair of forelimbs and a pair of hind limbs. So forelimbs are there. Pair of hind limbs also there. At the posterior end, not anterior, posterior end of the dorsal side between the hind limb is the cloacal aperture. Cloacal aperture is there. This is a common aperture. Cloacal aperture, this is a common aperture. This is a common opening for the digestive, excretory and reproductive systems. Digestive, excretory and reproductive systems also will be there. Forelimbs are okay. So this is the common opening. Which one? The cloacal aperture. Cloaca. Very important point is this is a neat bit. What is the need bit? The cloacal aperture. This is a common aperture for opening of digestive, excretory and reproductive systems. Cloacal aperture. Forelimbs are short, stumpy and helps to bear the weight of the body. They are also helpful for the landing of the frog after leaping. So after jumping, what will happen? They will be land on the frog by the help of these forelimbs. Each forelimb consists of thigh, shank, foot. Okay, what will be there? The forelimb consists of which one? Thigh, shank and foot. Foot bears 5 long webbed toes. Toes are the webbed. There will be webs are there, webbed toes. One small spot is also called the sixth toe. One small spot is called sixth toe. These are adaptations for leaping, swimming. Okay, these are adaptations for leaping and swimming. When the animal is at rest, the hind limbs kept folded in front in the form of letter Z. So when the animal is at rest, the hind limbs are kept folded. Hind limbs are kept in the form of letter Z. Okay, children, observe very carefully. So in the frog Rana hexadactyla, a pair of tympanic membranes forms the eardrum. Tympanic membranes forms the eardrum behind the eyes on either side. Frogs have no external ears. Neck and tail are also absent. The trunk bears a pair of forelimbs and a pair of hind limbs. At the posterior end, dorsal side between the hind limbs, is the cloacal aperture. This is a common aperture. This is the common opening for digestive, excretory and reproductive systems. Forelimbs are short, stumpy and helps bear the weight of the body. They are also helpful for the landing of the frog after leaping. Each forelimb consists of thigh, shank and foot. Foot bears 5 long webbed toes and one small spot is called the sixth toe. These are adaptations for leaping and swimming. When the animal is at rest, the hind limbs are kept folded in the form of letter Z. So these are the things you should have to remember. Okay. Next, some more points we are going to discuss about the Rana hexadactyla. What is called? Rana hexadactyla. We are going to discuss about Rana hexadactyla. Next, what is Rana hexadactyla? We are going to discuss about Rana hexadactyla. Sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means male is separate, female is separate. Is exhibited. Sexual dimorphism is exhibited clearly during. Okay, clearly during when the breeding season. During the breeding season, definitely there will be sexual dimorphism. Next, the male frog has a pair of what you call vocal sacs. Next, and a copulatory, very important, or nuptial, or what you called nuptial pad. Nuptial pad will be present on the ventral side. On the ventral side it will be present. Next, another important one, on the ventral side of the first digit of each limb. Okay, this is the most important. Each forelimb, first digit of each forelimb. This is important. Next, one more important point. What we have to think is vocal sacs. Vocal sacs are there. These vocal sacs assist. The vocal sacs assist in amplifying. What do you call in amplifying? Amplifying. Vocal sacs assist in amplifying the croaking. What do you call croaking? Croaking sounds. Croaking sound of frog. Croaking sound of frog we will be discussing. Next, vocal sacs are vocal sacs. Vocal sacs and what is called noctual pads. Vocal sacs or noctual pads are absent in the which one, the female frogs. In the female frogs they are absent. This is important. Okay children, next we are going to discuss about the digestive system. The system, digestive system of frog. Very easy one, very simple one. Okay, the digestive system, the alimentary canal. Okay, the alimentary canal consists of the alimentary canal consists of the buccal cavity. Okay, buccal cavity number 1 and pharynx. Next, esophagus. Next, duodenum. Next, ileum. Next, rectum. Okay, which leads to very very important, which leads to the cloaca. And opens out. Okay, opens into the very very important, which opens outside by the outside. Okay, open outside by the which one, cloacal aperture. This is important, cloacal aperture. Okay children, what we are discussing is the digestive system. Okay, cloacal aperture. Next, another important one is the wide mouth. Which one? The wide mouth will be there. So the wide mouth, okay, opens into the next point. Opens into the buccal cavity. Opens into the which one? Buccal cavity. Opens into the buccal cavity. Lies a large, what do you call, large muscular sticky tongue. Okay, this is important. Next, the tongue is attached in front. The tongue is attached, what you called, in front of. Okay, attached in front. Okay, the tongue is attached in front and free behind. This is a very important point to remember. Next, the free edge is the free edge. The free edge is there or not? The free edge is forked. Next, when the frog, okay, this is important. When the frog, okay, sights an insect, the frog sights an insect, what will happen? It flicks out. It flicks out. Okay, it flicks out its tongue. its tongue. Okay, its tongue, it flicks out its tongue. Okay, this is important. It flicks out its tongue and the insect gets, and the insect is there, no, that insect gets, okay, and the insect gets glued to the, glued glued to the, very very important, glued to the sticky tongue, called sticky tongue, very important point. Okay children, observe very carefully. Indian green frog Rana hexadactyla, it shows the sexual dimorphism is exhibited clearly during the breeding season. Clearly breeding season. Sexual dimorphism means what? Male frog is separate, female frog is separate. Especially breeding season, they will show sexual dimorphism. The male frog has a pair of vocal sacs, no, making sound. This is the neat bit. Very important. This point is vocal sacs and a copulatory nuptial pad on the ventral side of the first digit of each fourth limb. Ventral side, not dorsal side. Once again, the male frog characters. How can you distinguish the male frog and female frog? Question will come. The male frog has a pair of vocal sacs and a copulatory or the nuptial pad on the ventral side of each first digit of each forelimb. Next, vocal sacs assist in amplifying the cracking sound in frog. Vocal sacs and nuptial pads are absent in the female frog. So both are absent in the female frog. Next, the digestive system of the frog we are discussing. The alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, pharynx. Come on, once again. The alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, duodenum, ileum. Okay, these all you should have to remember. Next, rectum, which leads to the cloaca and opens outside by the cloacal aperture. And which one? Cloacal aperture. The wide mouth opens in the buccal cavity lies, wide mouth. The wide mouth opens in the buccal cavity lies a large muscular sticky tongue. Sticky tongue. Sticky means it will sticks the, which one, particles. The tongue is attached in front. Front part attached and free part behind, free behind. The free edge is forked. Fork will be there. When the frog sights insects, it flick out its tongue. Flick out the tongue. And the insect gets glued to the sticky tongue. Insect will be gets glued to the sticky tongue. Once again, children, the frog shows the sexual dimorphism, is exhibited clearly during the breeding season. The male frog has a pair of vocal sacs and a copulatory nuptial pad on the first ventral side of the first digit of each forelimb. Vocal sacs assist amplifying the croaking sound of frog. Vocal sacs and nuptial pads are absent in the female frog. Digestive system of the frog consists of alimentary canal. The alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, duodenum, ileum, rectum, which leads to cloaca open outside by the cloacal aperture. The wide mouth opens in the buccal cavity lies a large muscular sticky tongue. The tongue is attached in front and free behind. And the free edge is forked when the frog sights an insect. It flick out its tongue and the insect gets glued to the sticky tongue. Okay children, in the next class we are going to discuss about some more points about which one, the digestive system of the frog. Okay children, thank you.